How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of JitzKing Podcast. We are welcoming to the JitzKing Podcast. We have Black Belt, Combat Jiu-Jitsu World Champion, JitzKing Veteran, Mr. Kody Steele, your girl himself. Cody, how you doing, bro?
Cody.
What's up, Cody?
What's up? How's it going? Still going?
What's going on, brother?
It's just having a good little rest day-ish.
How you feeling,
I'm
man?
talking to you guys. Awesome day.
Getting some work in.
Feel good.
Anticipating your big match this upcoming weekend, man, on that stacked Who's Number One card. That's pretty cool, dude. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. I mean, like, coming in, like, 2 weeks notice, but, I mean, I was planning on competing that weekend anyway, so it doesn't matter, and I'm always kind of ready to go, so I'm ready.
Who was Dante's original opponent for that card? I don't remember since they put you on there.
He was supposed to fight Gilbert Burns, the UFC.
That would have been fun, bro. But this fight's much more exciting having you on it now. Like, Gilbert's good, dude. Gilbert's absolute savage. But I feel like when you're half in MMA and half in jiu-jitsu, you have to be competing at the highest level. And like that's what you're on right now. You're on this tear. You're a black belt. You're competing on this sub only. ADCC kind of rule set scenes, like the universe has aligned, bro, and this is your opportunity. You have a great opponent on a stacked card, man. You gotta be feeling pumped right now.
Yeah, I'm super excited. You know, I'm more excited. I mean, it's cool being on the Who's Number One card because it's gonna be a big stage, you know, a lot of eyes. But I mean, I've been wanting to get a match with Dante for like a long time now, just because I've been watching him. You know, even as a brown belt, I've been watching him like tear it up and. So, and I feel like we have very somewhat similar-ish styles, you know, we're both like very strong and we go forward. So I know it's going to be pretty good.
Well, like we were talking about before, like you wanted someone who is a wrestler who also is like, can wrestle, who also has stand-up, who is kind of like a well-rounded guy. That's the guy you want to fight. Well, Dante Leon fits right into that category, bro.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, he's got everything, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm so excited about it. Like I like fighting guys who are gonna like stand, do wrestle, and then pull guard and just exchange all over the place. You know.
How have you changed up your training? Anything specifically? I mean, I know you train all the time, especially you at that Brazilian Fight Factory, the Taka Brothers. Has anything specifically changed since you found, without giving anything away, since you found out you're fighting Dante? Have you been like, oh, I'm gonna specifically work on this? Like, what have you geared yourself towards?
Kind of. I mean, not too much. I mean, normally, like, if I had more time to prep for somebody, I kind of, like, I study them a little bit more, and then, like, we do more, like, specific type of training to who we're fighting. Like, so we'll kind of adjust around and fit whatever they do. But, I mean, for the most part, I've been watching them for a while, so I kind of know what to expect. But it'll be good, you know, and like training's always never easy at the Fight Factory, so I'll figure it out there. It'll be good.
This is a possible like ADCC matchup. You guys are both 77 kilos too, right? So this could happen later in the road. I don't know if Dante is doing the trials or if he gets an invite. I'm sure he gets an invite, but if you guys were to meet at ADCC, this is a possible future matchup down the road too. So no better way to figure out. I mean, also if you're thinking about doing ADCC, which I know you guys are, like this is a great test for you to be like, hey, we're going into the ADCC now, and you're gonna fight a guy in the same division. What a great test and get a feel for that division, you know.
Yeah, it works out perfect, you know, because I mean, I've been training hard. I've been having a lot of things I've been working on, and so finding someone like Dante, because yeah, I'm sure he is going to get an invite. It's a good test to see where I'm at, what I need to work on, and things like that. And it's like, and I'm getting all this experience now, so when the ADC does come, I'm going to be more than ready for it.
So, man, I mean, we were talking about earlier, you're in this era of guard pullers where everyone seems to sit to their butt super quickly and play from the bottom and score points. You're like the last of a dying breed, man, with the wrestling, a persistent top game, super aggressive, passing, double unders, nonstop. I mean, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, just go watch your match with Alec Balding not too long ago, bro. Like, that was, if you sit down and watch some of those scrambles, like the chaining, your passing, and your wrestling back and forth together. Where did you develop the style? Is it all seated in your wrestling? When did you decide like this is my game?
Kind of like, I mean, when I started doing jiu-jitsu, I was more like, I more just wrestled. I didn't know too much. I just wrestled and passed the guard, and then I was working on my guard myself. But my professor, Rodrigo, I mean, he's a big guy, so like he can play guard and he has really good omoplatas and everything, but mainly his top pressure is like insane, you know? And so I learned a lot of it from him. And then also rolling with like William, you know, he's adapted it as well. So, you know, me and him and my coach, like we're always exchanging, always watching, always fixing. And, you know, now we're like kind of making it a thing at the Fight Factory where, you know, everyone's like smash passing, you know. So we teach a lot there too. And a lot of our people that train with us, like our hobbyists, they'll smash pass too. It's something that we've been like doing up over there. It's crazy.
How long have you been training for? Were you a wrestler? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I pretty much played sports my whole life. So I played like baseball and football and ever since I was a little kid. And then I think I hit 7th grade and all my friends, they were like, man, we want to start trying, let's go wrestle. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. But then I ended up going with them and I ended up just like falling in love with it. You know, like I was just like better than all my friends at it. So I was like, yeah, I like this. So I ended up quitting baseball after that. And started just doing only wrestling. I wrestled my 7th grade year, 8th grade year, and then I had some troubles or whatever my freshman year, so I didn't get to wrestle. But my sophomore and junior year, I wrestled, and then I ended up moving from Washington, and I moved to Texas. And my school didn't have any wrestling, so my senior year, I graduated in 2013, and then after I graduated, I just was like, I gotta find something. I want to maybe I'm gonna do MMA or something. Like that's what I'm looking for. And then I ended up running into jiu-jitsu because I knew what it was. I just knew it was like wrestling with just like chokes and everything like that. So I was like, yeah, I want to start doing this. And then it kind of just started flowing, just like wrestling. It felt, you know, natural and it felt fun. So I just started running with it.
I'm really glad you gave up baseball for jiu-jitsu and wrestling, bro. That was a smart move.
Did you compete a lot in wrestling, and were you good, or were you like Eddie?
Hey, whoa, man. I was undefeated one year, man. My senior year, I was undefeated for 2 matches, and then I lost.
There you go.
Cody, I've been following you since like you put like your first. I don't know if you remember this. You put down a takedown highlight like 2.5, 3 years ago, maybe, from like a tournament in Texas. It was a gi and no gi tournament, and it was just you ragdolling people for like 3.5 minutes. And someone reposted it, and I started following you since then. Cause I was like, this dude is exciting, bro. Like, there was one poor dude you suplexed like 4 times or something like that. Do you know the match I'm talking about? This one guy, you just kept ragdolling him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been in Dallas. Was that a brown belt?
Yeah, it was like early brown belt years. Not the one you got DQ'd for. It was the one before.
Yeah.
That, like a while before that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a long time.
Yeah, it was like a no-gi match.
Yeah, I remember that poor gentleman. You took his soul from him, dude.
Yeah, I just always like to kind of make it like fun, you know. I mean, I'm out there having fun, and so doing things like that is fun for me. Like I would go to wrestling tournaments, and I started wrestling late, so I would I would fight these guys, and I would go to like state or whatever, nationals or whatever, and like then like I would win a few matches, and then these like really technical guys would come beat me. And I'm like, oh man, this sucks. So like I would just have like one big like hurrah at me, and like if they were whooping me, I'd get to my feet and I'd find their waist, and I'd like send them in the air, and then after that they'd come back and beat me up, you know. But it was good, you know. I ended up getting in a little trouble my 8th grade year, so I didn't get to go to school my freshman year, so I ended up doing like
what kind of trouble? This is getting good. Okay.
I just got into like I was just getting into like fights and stuff. I wasn't a bad kid. It was just people. I was very short in school, so
they always say that.
Yeah,
I wasn't a bad kid.
Yeah.
The mom always looks at
me. I wasn't a bad kid.
Dude, isn't that funny?
Pretty much. I mean,
isn't that funny how it works though? Because like some people might see that as a bad kid, but I see that as just a dude who like the competition to fight. Like I was the same way. Like I got in trouble. I got in fights, but I found jiu-jitsu. I don't fight anymore. It's like that's what I was looking for in life. Like how many young men go through this struggle where they think they're a bad kid or this gets a delinquent, he gets in trouble, goes to jail. If you just would have put that kid in martial arts, then he finds what he wants to do.
I know.
And then it's well, young men, we need to channel it. Some of us have it more than others, I feel like. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I did with like wrestling a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I would just like, someone would be like, "Oh, you want to fight?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah, no, let's go." And then, and then one of the one of the times I just got in trouble because it was on school grounds, and I actually had like problems with this person, and we ended up getting in a scuffle, and then I got in trouble. So, it was kind of, not good, but it was good because it kind of like changed me, and then I went to a different school, and then I ended up getting into some like even more heavier wrestling, and that time I wasn't going to school, but like I had this pastor who was always helping me out, and he was just like, "Well, you're not just going to sit home all day." So like he would like take me, and he would like take me all these wrestling practices every day while everyone was going to school, and I would just wrestle all day. And then I got mats in my garage, all my friends would come over, we just wrestle all day, and then every single weekend he would pay for me just to take me to these tournaments all over Washington, and I would just compete in like freestyle, folk style, Greco, all in like one weekend. And I would just boom, 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 boom. And like the first time I did it, I was going like 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. I would lose I'd lose my first fight. I would go to the losers bracket. I would maybe win one, and then I'd lose. And then same thing next weekend. I would go win one, lose one, win one, lose one. And then the year after that, I started catching the hang of it, and then I started like winning a lot more.
People don't understand that journey. People they see you win sometimes. They're like, "Oh, you're good." No, before you win, you lose a lot. You have to learn how to lose before you learn how to win.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to eat it. Like, you gotta eat a lot of shit sandwiches, and then you get to eat good sandwiches, bro.
Yeah.
We've all lost a lot, bro. But Peyton, speaking of that, bro, let's, like we were talking about earlier, we had your match against John Combs at our JitzKing event. It was in January, right? I believe it was in January. After that match, we have seen a new Kody Steele, like a resurgence, like this, like almost like that match.
Puberty.
that match, we all lose. It's a one-on-one competition. Sometimes days are, sometimes it's not, but it depends on how you handle the loss. And I feel like you took that and you learned from it, and we got this new killer in front of us now. Like, what did you learn from that match? How did it change you? What did you think you benefited from that match?
It was weird. I think like before that match, I was like winning some fights, especially at brown belt. I was winning some big matches and big tournaments. And then I think, I don't know, it's not like I walked in there like, oh, I'm going to beat John Combs because he won the ADC trials last year and he beat William. So like, it's not like I was walking in there all confident and everything, but it was just like, I don't know, something was off for me, and just things weren't clicking. I don't think maybe like, I think it was definitely the time, like my training was serious, but I was like, I could do more, and when I lost to Combs, it was just, I've taken a lot of losses. I've taken losses in wrestling. I've lost like important matches in wrestling. I've lost plenty of matches in jiu-jitsu, and to the point where I was like almost crying, but like that one changed me in a weird way. Like that whole week, I was just like not happy. I was like, something needs to change. But yeah, I flipped the switch in me and put a little bit more fire under my ass, and like I just started training a little bit more like a professional and start taking it a lot more serious. Like I'm very grateful for that loss. Like it was a good loss for me.
Isn't it weird how that works, bro? Because like some people from the outside might be like, "Oh, he lost. Like he's not good." But like if you're a competitor, you see that. After that match, bro, like I put my headphones on. I was like, "Oh shit, we're about to see a new Kody Steele." Like I saw exactly what happened. I was like, this is gonna be a resurgence. Here we go. And like that's exactly what's happened. Like your match with Alec Balding, bro. That dude is good. Like I don't think he's like a fan favorite, so people don't know who he is, but that he's really, really good. Like ADCC winner. He beat Dan Martinez. He had some great matches with Dylan Dennis back in the day at brown belt. Like if it wasn't for Dylan, he probably would have won Pans a few times. Like that dude is good, especially Nogi, super technical, and you manhandled him, bro. You made it look like that was a great match, So that's what I'm judging a lot of that. That was not an easy fight, and you made it. Like when I saw that lineup, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a tough one, and you guys look like two different levels in that fight, man.
Yeah, he's super tough. I remember I was at the trials when he won. He had like a really tough side of the bracket too. He ended up beating Roberto that day too. They got like this crazy scrap, and he ended up beating Roberto. I think it was like 4-2 or 6-2 or something like that. And But I think when they offered me that fight, I was like, this is the fight I need, because this is the fight that's going to motivate me. And like, I really need to win this fight. But I mean, I don't know, like I changed my mentality, a lot when I fight. Like I was trying to figure myself out. I was like, okay, maybe I want to come into my fight calm. Maybe I want to come into my fight like, and try to like look for an opening. But now it's just like, how I think about jiu-jitsu is just like, if I per se would like be in a street fight, I would just scrap as hard as I can. I'm not going to throw punches, but like you just move, just make movement, create things. And like, I just look at it more as a fight than actually like a sport, like trying to like pass, hold, get the points, hold, I'm always trying to make something happen, and then it ends up making the fights a lot more entertaining to watch as well, I mean, I feel I'm really tired at the end. I want to throw up, but it's all good.
That means it was a good day.
I love the intensity that you had during your Mauricio fight.
Yeah.
Man, when you and him
too.
came out all pumped up, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be good. And then you got that first, what was it, a double takedown?
You did a suplex and a double
leg. Man, that was
too.
so pretty. I think we caught that in slow motion, too.
Yeah.
I love that fight.
Yeah, I knew Mauricio was going to be like super tough.
Yeah, he wanted that fight.
Your footwork was super serious too, bro. Like you came out with a very interesting style as far as like what you were doing with your feet. Like you were moving very. Was there a reason for that? Like specifically, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's something I do in the gym sometimes. Like when we're doing takedowns, like I try to use my like athleticism or like my explosiveness, you say, and I'm always kind of feinting, like in boxing, everyone's always moving their head, feinting jabs, moving, feinting, and you never really know when they're going to strike. And then, so once I kind of get them biting on some feints, I'm like, okay, now I can go whenever I want. I don't need to like set a perfect double leg up or move their feet in a way. I just have to get them biting on the feints. So if I go in and out, I'm never going to really know when I'm going to come in. And then it's kind of like, it's also tiring too. Like if someone like feints and goes on you, you kind of like tense up the sprawl a little bit, kind of like takes your wind out, So I've been working a lot on that. And they never know what's going to go down.
So man, training with the Taka brothers, how has that been? Like that's got to, I think if you're a real jiu-jitsu nerd, that's going to benefit you in a bunch of different ways. Which one is the most annoying to grapple? And what benefits do you get from grappling the two of them?
Man, I get a lot, and they're both of them. They're completely different. They're brothers, but like they're completely different. It's crazy. Like so, like when I go with William, it's very like technical. Like everything is very technical, and he doesn't give much of an inch. Sometimes he'll kind of work and move, but like if you leave a little bit of something open, he's gonna take it, and then he doesn't give it back, and then he moves on from there, and he like keeps working you, and then eventually he'll take your back or whatever. Like, so I learn a lot with William. Like I'm always like, me and him are like in class, we do our stuff, we roll, and then after class we're like talking for like ever, because we're like, I'm always asking him questions, he's asking me questions, and we always like to record our matches or like in our rolls. Like we have a little tripod, so when me and him do we do rolls together, we always record it, we watch it, we break it down, we draw notes on them, and we study it, and then we're like, okay, you need to fix this. So it's kind of like some science behind it with him. He's a super smart kid. And with Andrew's like he's more like a bully. Like if anyone comes into our gym and like wants to try a class and he rolls with them, like he's just gonna like go on you and eat and take your back and push your face.
You're welcome.
He's gonna jump on you. He's not.
I'm such a nice guy. I don't like to give welcomes, man. I feel so bad.
Dude, imagine you welcoming B. Andrew Tackett their first day in jiu-jitsu.
He'll come back.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
When people come into our gym, they're like, oh yeah, I'm like, you're over him. That guy is super good. I'm like, you're going with Andrew yet? And they're like, no. And I'm like, all right, well, just be ready because he's coming, And he'll just, man, he gasses people out.
That's Pat.
But with Andrew, we're constantly just scrambling. Like me and him, like we don't really like if there's like 8 minutes on the clock, we're constantly moving. Like he pushes my cardio, and then if there's like 2 minutes left, like it's a nonstop movement. We'll be kicking people in like the back, and like we're flying all over the mat. So they both do different things for me, but I always get rolls in with them. You know, every class. Specifically, if we have hard days, I'm definitely getting multiple rounds with those two every time.
Yeah, it's got me. So
always tough.
You're primarily focused on the no-gi route right now because that's where it seems to be everyone's getting paid. You have William Tackett in your gym with you, training multiple times a day, and he's got probably some of the best leg lock entries and leg lock attacks in the, like I would say, on the scene right now. That's got to benefit you a whole bunch, considering what you're competing with all the no-gi leg lock guys and ADCC coming up. Do you feel like that benefits you coming up? Like you got to be like you yourself, you don't exchange in leg locks, but you have knowledge and you must have confidence engaging with these guys, knowing like, dude, I grapple Tackett every single day.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's pretty wild because, you know, like he, you know, it's funny because we never really just like sat there and drilled leg locks. Like it's funny, like when he was like 16, he fought Kyle Chambers, and they were just like, they were going at it, and William was like passing his guard and sweeping him and mounting him and taking his back, but he couldn't finish Kyle. And then Kyle did this super sick, like weird 50-50 Eminari type. I can't specifically remember. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. You know, he ended up catching William in a 50-50 heel hook. And after that leg lock, he was just like, he started studying him, I guess, or doing something. And he just started becoming like a G at him, you know. And he's so flexible and long, and he's like super strong too. So he can do leg locks from all over the place. But yeah, I mean, I do feel comfortable. Like I feel comfortable knowing where I'm at, but it's nice to have that in the gym for sure, because I feel like a lot of gyms don't have such a high level, you know, leg lock person in their gym.
A knowledgeable guy too. Like not only skill, but he's got knowledge like behind. Like if you said, "Hey, William, show me this," he'll like not only show you it, he'll teach you how to do it the right way. And
step by step.
Yeah, then you know how to do it. You know, that kid's so smart. You know, his IQ, his grappling IQ.
He's extremely. Yeah, he's super smart. Like a lot of the times I'm just like, I'll see him move. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty cool. Or if I'm like watching a match, or if I'm like getting ready to fight someone, I'm like, hey, I'm like, hey, William, can you watch this? Watch this guy. Watch a few of his matches, and then come back to me and see what you think. Tell me what you think, and then we start exchanging. But like he just already knows. He's like, all right, you can do this. All right, you need to grab these. You need to use these grips. Watch out! Don't let him grab your leg here. So he's extremely smart. Like he's super technical when he rolls and when he fights, and like that's how he can just look at jiu-jitsu in a different way. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I remember with ADCC, well, not ADC, JitzKing, the first JitzKing event, he sat down, he talked to me, and he's like explaining the rules to me and like his strategy, and I'm like, dude, you're like 17 years old, bud, and you're bringing the way you're. Yeah. No other grown man was approaching the competition that way. He's like, hey, I just want to clarify the rules like this or like this, because if I do this, it'll do this, and this will do this, and I'm like, yeah. Let me just check real quick, bro. I think these are the rules, and like he knew them better than I did. Like,
I specifically remember people looking at him like, damn, would you put your damn hand down? He kept going.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll literally be like not even competing. Sometimes it's like maybe just Andrew, or sometimes we're just there, and like for some reason we're in the warm up room for the rules meeting. And William's not competing, I'm not competing. Maybe no one is even competing from our team. He's still like, yeah, I got a question. I'm like, what? I'm like, why? It's crazy.
It's like that kid in school that always asks questions, but then that kid's usually pretty successful. Like the more questions you ask, the more you're gonna know.
Oh yeah,
jiu-jitsu nerd.
Yeah. So he's literally like a ticking. He's like a ticking time bomb, honestly. At this point, like it's just a matter of time for him until he gets like that huge matchup, and like people are gonna see like he's just gonna eat through. You know, he's something. He's something
we
crazy.
Were trying to get it for him.
Yeah, that would have been a fun match with him, bro. That would have been really exciting. I think we can still get one, man. Eventually, when this COVID thing settles down, we'll make it happen. You know, like. Maybe you know, he deserves it. The thing is, like at this point, he's so dangerous. It's almost like counterproductive to getting him a match, because guys, like he's good, right? Everyone knows he's good. He's a brown belt. He's a savage. But like the high level black belts don't want to fight him because it's such a high risk. but a low reward. Like, what do they get from that? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like they know. I mean, they're black belts. They're, you know, most of them are veterans, and they see William. They're like, damn, that kid's got skills. Like he's like slicing through guards. He's like extremely technical, you know. So and he's like so impatient, you know. Like he's just like, I want to fight this guy. Like, you don't want to fight this guy. He'll ask to fight Chauncey Burrow. He'll ask to fight Lucas Lepre. You know, he wants to fight all these guys, and it's like obviously they don't want to fight him, but like. That's why he's a ticking time bomb. It's just a matter of time till, like, you know, the trials start, and then he's going to be in the ADCs, and then there'll be nothing.
He's going to have to win, like, Nogi Worlds or ADCC, and then that's it. After that, bro, like, and which I think he's getting to the point. And, dude, Andrew, we were talking about Andrew, too. Andrew is going to be is he doing 66 or 69? What is he going to do for?
Yeah, he said he's going to drop down to 60. He's going to do the lower weight class.
Bro, he's going to be a prop. Both those guys, if they can make it into the trials, if they can win trials, they are going to be problems for people as well, you know?
Yeah.
Your school is stacked with talent.
Yeah, because when...
Well, Kody, even thinking about you, bro, your style is awesome for ADCC. Like, you're going to be right up there with the killers, too.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, you guys... But your school right now is just it's like I think it's probably it's a breeding ground, but no one's talking about, like, you guys have the perfect lineup for ADCC right now, because not only do you guys have yourselves with your awesome style, and then you got Little Tackett's awesome style, and then William's style, but you guys are all training with each other, so those styles all complement each other. So you're ready for the opposite styles as well. So what are you guys doing for ADCC right now? It's coming up in the trials. Like, what's the training like at Brazilian Fight Factory right now as far as preparations for trials in ADCC?
Well, right now, because since the trials got pushed, I guess, until I don't know when, like a few months out or a little, whenever they can get the referees in. We're pretty much just doing the same thing, you know. But when we're getting ready for the trials, we have like we have a good group of guys, and we're training like on certain days. So it's like we have at least 2 days where it's like extremely hard. But and then after that, it's kind of like our own training. But I mean, I feel like we train hard all the time. I mean, we train smart, but we train hard. Like we eat like on the mat. We're training just like everyone else, and then outside of the mat, we're eating right. You know, trying to be professional. We're trying to eat right. We take our supplements. We study the game. We study jiu-jitsu. We watch all the matches. And then we're constantly always lifting weights, and we're just always on each other. Like, we don't let each other slip up, you know. On our off days, we're like, we're going to go run today. We're going to go do bleachers. We're going to do this, or let's just go drill. So we're just preparing for the big stuff coming up, you know. So I feel like we're always ready at this point. Yes. It's not easy. I'm always sore.
Yeah, you guys are always posting something, whether it be like post-training, or you're in a garage somewhere, or like you're in a football field somewhere, or you're next to some bleachers. Like, how important to you is that outside cardio other than training? Because a lot of jiu-jitsu guys don't want to do it. A lot of guys don't want to run. They don't want to do sprints. Like, how important to you is that in your game?
I think it's extremely important, because I mean, if you say some of these guys say, you know, they're professional jiu-jitsu athletes, you know, let's just say, but, you know, like, if you look at the like NFL or NBA guys, like the guys, like the real professionals, and like, they don't just show up to practice and throw the football and do plays. You know, I'm sure Tom Brady's eating right, like a professional, eating clean. I'm sure he's studying film all the time. You know, he's working out off the mat, you know. And most of these guys who are, you know, say professionals, they just show up to class like everybody else, and they train and drill here and there, and maybe sometimes they do 2-a-days, but, you know, we're like always, you know, we're trying to do everything right. You know, if it's from on the mat, we show up early, we stretch, we drill a little bit, we spar, we roll, to when we go get off the mat, we're lifting weights, eating clean, and studying BJJ, and not watching like Netflix, or, you know, playing too much Warzone, things like that, you know. So we try to just stay on each other, as, you know, as much as we can, and we suffer, and then hopefully we're going to get some type of reward out of it, you know.
Well, the rewards here, man. This weekend is your reward. Like, no matter what happens, right? Like, this is the reward. you're on the biggest fight card of the year, let's say, right? This is the biggest one that's happened so far. So this is your reward for all your hard work, man, for everything you've put in right here. You got this. So, what's your mindset right now, man, going into this? What are you thinking? How are you feeling mentally? Is there any last minute steps you're preparing for, or are you just ready to go?
I feel like I'm just ready to go. I mean, yeah, it's on like a little bit bigger of a stage and things like that and more eyes, but I don't know. I feel confident. I feel calm. Like I said, like I was planning on competing this weekend anyway, so it's just adding one more to it. But to me, it's all fun. Like I train this much and I train so hard and I try to do everything right. For moments like this. So like I get more excited. Like I want to fight already, not like nervous or anything. Like I'm just like, ooh, yeah, like let's go. Like I want to do it now. Like I want to fight right now. I don't ever feel too scared or anything like that. It's just all fun, and I'm sure later down the line. Yeah, exactly. Like the times that I've been the most nervous and the most scared or like, I don't know, it's like when I was only training in the gym and like wasn't doing extra cardio all the time or extra weights all the time, or I was eating like bad and things like that. Like that's when I was like, I don't know, like I would get very nervous, but now I'm just like, I'm just going to go out there and just have fun. This is the fun part, being on the lights and walking out and just competing, with people. And I get to compete with Dante, and then he's the best in the world. So it's like, it's just fun for me.
Yeah, it's a big stage, man. It's like everything. So other than who's number one, do you have anything else coming up after that? Do you have anything planned? You guys got anything coming up or?
I think right now, so me and William are going to go fight on Friday, and then Saturday morning we're going to go fly out to Portland, and then we're both going to be fighting on Chael's Submission Underground. And then I think after that, I think we're just chilling for a bit. I think we're just gonna lay low, maybe. I don't know. Probably just get back to training hard, and then get stronger. We want to start lifting like a little bit more weights too, and focus on like getting strong and stuff like that. So
you're doing who's number one Friday? You're doing who's number one Friday and Submission Underground the next day? Sunday?
Yeah.
Who are you fighting?
Yeah.
Who are you fighting on Submission Underground? Are you fighting a tournament, or is that who you guys super fight?
I'm just fighting a super fight. It's like he's an MMA guy. I don't think he competes too much like IBJF or anything like that, but he does more nogi, and he's a MMA dude. I can't remember his name on the top of my head, but
I can't remember his name.
That's something I wanted to ask you. Are you ever interested on going into MMA? Is that something you would maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you working on stand up at all?
Definitely. Yeah, I used to do stand up. Like I did stand up for like 2 years, and it was feeling good, feeling natural. But then jiu-jitsu started popping off a little bit more, and then once I got my brown belt, I was like, I started to compete a lot more, and then I met the boys, and me and the boys started getting like more competitive, and that's when like me and William decided like, man, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we need to like get our names out somehow. So we need to like travel a lot and like go to every single tournament we can, try to get into every super fight that we can. So I ended up just like kind of focusing more on the jiu-jitsu part, but now that I'm black belt and I'm doing some fights and a lot of good fights in jiu-jitsu, I think I'm just gonna keep doing jiu-jitsu a little bit, but I'm gonna start dabbling with some striking again, and a little bit, and then later down the road, I'm definitely gonna jump into some MMA for sure.
Kody, I got the most important question for you of the whole night. Are you ready for this one?
Yes.
Will you ever pull guard?
Yeah, I'll probably pull guard here and there. I got some tricks in there.
Have you ever pulled guard before?
I pull guard more in like IBJF. Like say like if I'm fighting, like I think at Brown Belt World, I pulled a lot of guard because I kept fighting these guard pullers. So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna pull guard, and then they can't pull guard. If they try to pass me, I'm gonna sweep them, and then once I get on top, they're not gonna sweep me back. So yeah, and then in Nogi World, and when I compete in IBJF, I pull a lot of guard, just depending on who I'm fighting and stuff. But I don't think I've ever gotten like a triangle or anything off my back, but I got some other cool stuff. But or in the gi, I pull guard sometimes. Like I'll like play like lasso guard and things like that. So
cool, man. Well,
Kody, what's your nationality?
I'm Korean and then just white, just Caucasian after that.
Korean and white.
Just a little
mix.
Nice and simple. Well, bro, I mean, thank you very much for joining us on this podcast. We want you guys, everyone who's listening on Flow Grappling this weekend, check out Kody's match against Dante Leon on the Who's Number 1 card. And then he's a savage, so 2 days later he's fighting some guy, but he can't remember his name, on the Submission Underground. I'm sure it's going to be a good match anyway. Hey, man, do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout-out to or anything? Or
yeah, just to Genesis and Level Black. You know, those guys are helping me out and helping me chase my dream. You know, so and they have awesome gear, both of them. You know, and awesome rash guards, and yeah. Thank you, guys.
Dope, dude. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. This weekend, Kody, Mr. Steele, your girl.
Kody
He's going to be out there going to war with 80cc vet and Nogi world champion Dante Leon. It's probably going to be one of the best matches on the card. All the matches are good, but I'm looking super particular to that match. So, guys, don't miss it. Kody, what's your Instagram handle so that people can follow you?
Kody _Steele BJJ, and that's Kody with a K. With a K.
Good luck, Kody.
Cool, man. We're looking forward to the event, guys. So check it out. And thank you so much for your time tonight, man. We appreciate it.
We'll see you soon, brother. And I know, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I know I was amazing. Thank you. You don't have to say it.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to say it, man. People get shy.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.